Hi, Zenayda, it's Denise. How are you doing today? We're going to read a story about floating. I'll read the page and then you read the page. If you put a leaf in a bowl of water, the leaf floats. It sits on top of the water. If you put a twig in the water, it also floats. This is because the leaf and the twig are lighter than the water. Solids that are lighter than a liquid will float. If you put a rock in the same bowl of water, the rock sinks. It falls to the bottom of the bowl. If you put a marble in the bowl of water, it also sinks. This is because the rock and marble are heavier than the water. Solids that are heavier than a liquid will sink. How does a ship float? It uses tanks filled with air. The air in the ship's tanks weigh less than the water, so the ship floats. What makes a submarine sink? A submarine also has air tanks. When submarines need to go underwater, air from the tanks is released. That makes the submarine heavier than the water, so it sinks. Whenever a solid is put in a liquid, such as water, the solid pushes some liquid away. The water level rises. A light object weighs less than the water it pushes away. so the object floats. A heavy object weighs more than the water it pushes away, so the object sinks. Liquids can also float or sink. This is because some liquids are thicker than other liquids. Maple syrup is very thick. Oil is thinner than syrup. If you mix syrup, oil, and water together, the syrup would sink. The oil would float on top. Scientists study whether objects float or sink to make better ships, planes, and medicines. Understanding the properties of matter, such as whether they sink or float, helps you learn about the world around you. What would you like to learn about sinking and floating? Zenayda, did you learn anything from that story? I learned that boats float because they have air tanks. I didn't know that before. So that's the end of our story, and I'll see you next time.